This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As I've been covering on this channel, Pizzagate, which continues to get censored across the internet, is still something that's alive and well. Still some stories are coming out about it. But I wanted to do this video because I talked to the channel New World Agenda. And if you haven't seen his channel, definitely subscribe to it. He was on the air with me the other night. We broke down this video. He has videos on it. I wanted to do a video on it as well and cover it and make sure it was in my video library for people that wanted information on Pizzagate. If they were coming here just trying to see the connections between this massive ring of pedophiles, which, you know, at the core are Satanists and occultists. So I want to thank Jeff C. for him coming on the other night, New World Agenda, and covering this with me. I definitely recommend you subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. I'll put his link below. He broke this story as far as I know. To me, I was not aware of this, but what we've seen go on with Pizzagate is they have these concerts on Friday nights, Saturday nights during the year. Even though it's supposed to be a pizza place, it's also a bar. Okay, and they even advertise that they're open for children of all ages starting at 10 o'clock when they have these concerts. I'm sure some of you saw the band Heavy Breathing there. A lot of the videos that went viral had the actual audio of this creepy woman, which sounds like a man or some type of transgender creature, talking about everybody there. Have you enjoyed the secret pizza? Oh, the secret pizza. Making a big joke about everybody in the crowd cracking up, making jokes about killing babies and stuff like that. I'm not going to put the clip in there for two reasons. One, for copyright purposes, but number two, because of the language. It's vulgar, talking about murdering babies and putting babies down and just absolutely disgusting stuff. I'm sure most of you have seen it. There's a picture of the band right here. You can see with this freak of a human being. These people are just so disgusting and so disturbing. And this network runs deep. It runs deep through politics, through music, and a lot of people have documented that. You know, they do these bands come in. They play satanic music, which is almost like ritual music for them, and it drowns out the sounds. Obviously, it'll drown out all the noise. I mean, they're on a main street in Connecticut Avenue. And also the music is used, you know, for trance purposes. As you can see, it's like psychedelic type of music that they play. It's awful music. I mean, some of these bands don't even have, you know, any views on their videos. They're playing here in front of these people, and their imagery and stuff is filled with pedophilia symbols, and they're hinting at all of this stuff with pedophilia. So I want to talk about this band that played there, I think it was last month, called Sex Stains. Very disturbing stuff was found and uncovered regarding them. So we already saw Heavy Breathing and the connection there to pedophilia, the jokes about killing babies and enjoying the pizza. Now we have Sex Stains, which is another just disturbing band that has performed at COMET Ping Pong. And what we found, if you look at this video, right off the bat, you see over and over in their latest music video, which was released 2 weeks ago, you can see that symbol, that pedophile symbol that we all now know about, which was uncovered starting with Besta Pizza. You see the actual pyramid and the zigzag inside right there in the video, blatantly obvious, right there in front of our faces, right, of course, on a cube. Now, I know that looks like a baby block, but it also represents Saturn's cube symbolism as well. Right there in the video, right in front of our faces. So this is a band that performed at this place, which obviously we know now, you know, what's been going on at COMET Ping Pong and across that whole strip, that whole block, the pedophilia and all these things that we've, you know, everybody out there has done an amazing job uncovering. Obviously, they're doing everything they can now to scrub this story. Story after story is coming out about how Russia is involved and leaking this fake news just so they can manipulate the election towards Trump. All of this stuff, it's a complete joke how they're trying to get away with this now. And of course, I know people have the mindset of WikiLeaks and, you know, Assange is in on it and it's part of it. Well, at the same time, they do reveal themselves. And sometimes they expect the masses to be sound asleep because they do this all the time and nobody picks up on anything. This is a situation where everybody started picking up on it and it's gone viral in the sense. So they've made the mistake of letting it out there whether they wanted to or not. I assume that they did, and they wanted to just rub it in our faces and didn't expect us to go crazy and pick up on the story, but everybody has. So you see in this video for Sex Stains, a band that has performed there recently at COMET Ping Pong, you see the pedophile symbol right there. Pedophilia logo, FBI's, you know, list of symbols to look for when busting or involved in pedophilia rings. They put these symbols out there so they can communicate with each other, so that these other sick pedophiles can find one another or find, you know, these places where they can find children. It's absolutely mind-blowing and disgusting when you go down the rabbit hole with what these people do. But it's no different than we see with the Illuminati and the occult, right, where we see the symbols and music videos and stuff like that. We're seeing them right here. Here's a music video by Sex Stains. So we see that symbol there, that pedophilia symbol on top of a cube. Of course, we see all the rainbow and LGBT symbolism, which isn't a surprise because that's always there. We see the masks, of course, and a man in lipstick, and we see transgenders in the band. So none of this is surprising. We also see the all-seeing eye running around with the all-seeing eye. I mean, every symbol you can imagine. We see people dressed in black and white. We see pyramids. We see all of the above in this video for sex stains. But this is where it gets interesting. So, of course, you guys see the symbol there, that logo, that thing right on the block, deliberately there. They show it over and over and over. This is a band that is performed at this, this place, which is, now it should be under investigation, but people out there are investigating on their own independently, but the FBI and nobody's really doing anything to stop this. But we see the connection between the band and this other band, Heavy Breathing, that's playing there. So obviously they hire a lot of these bands that are associated with this, no doubt about it. And they play this, satanic type music, which, not only drowns out the sounds, but they use the psychedelic sounds and stuff like that for the spells and the stuff that they're doing during these acts, these disgusting acts. But what's interesting here, which was pointed out, is that the maker of the video, you'll see at the end here, the video was created by Cassandra Lee Hamilton. Cassandra Lee Hamilton, who, here's a photo of her, who is aspiring to be a big star in Hollywood. I guess she realizes that the only way to be a big star in Hollywood is to be involved in these rings or to even get any money or be able to make a living out there. But this is where it gets interesting. When you look up Cassandra Lee Hamilton, take a look at this. Here's Cassandra Lee Hamilton standing in front of a picture. I guess this is in her bedroom because she's got no pants on and just a shirt covering up. A picture of a gigantic pizza with a pentagram inside, an upside-down pentagram, the Baphomet pentagram. I mean, right there in her home, must not be a connection. We must all be crazy, right, about this pizza connection and how it's code word for these pedophile rings and the molestation of young children and young girls specifically, and, well, young boys specifically as well, but the pizza symbolism. And we also have, because we've had Satanists coming out denying any connection at all, but we have the upside-down pentagram right inside the pie, decorated so lovely on her disgusting wall out in Los Angeles. If this isn't more, so look at the connection right there. You get these bands that show up, they play this satanic garbage, they joke about pizza. Oh, you try the pizza, you try the special sauce. This woman goes on for 15 minutes from Heavy Breathing talking about trying special sauces and all this disgusting stuff. You get this other band, Sex Stains, that performs there late at night when they say kids should, invite your kids, bring your kids at 10 o'clock, listen to Sex Stains. Absolute joke. You see their video with the pedophilia symbols. Then you see the person who made the video, who has a photo of herself standing in front of a gigantic picture of a pizza with the Baphomet pentagram inside of it. I mean, how much more in your face and obvious can it get? But you see, when you start looking for the symbols, you can start uncovering what's going on out there. And you can see that these people do operate in code. They do operate through secret handshakes, through secret signs, through secret symbols that we see all the time. That's how they communicate. I've been saying it over and over, pretty much the majority of my life since I've been awake, but on this channel specifically, trying to get people to realize that these symbols, whether they're on on buildings, which we've seen with Little Red Fox, the symbols there, to let people know they're either rings for pedophilia or they're just a part of, connected somehow to these Satanists out in, that control everything, these elitists, these globalists. But I mean, look how obvious this stuff is. So we see the basic, Illuminati pedophile symbols as well in the music video. And the woman who creates the video happens to have a picture of herself posing in front of a gigantic pizza with a Baphomet pentagram inside of it. But again, folks, we're crazy. We're alternate right. We're lunatics. They're trolling us. This was posted in 2013, but remember, they're either trolling us or we've all lost our mind and creating things that aren't necessarily true. Even though when we have the media come out and talk about what's going on with Pizzagate, what do they talk about? Oh, these poor people that run this business, they're getting attacked by these lunatics. They don't talk about James Alefantis' name meaning I love children. They don't talk about the piles of evidence that have come forward. What they do is they release fake videos going inside the restaurant where they go, look, see, it's safe. There's nothing going on. Oh, right. Why don't you bring in the FBI and let them go through the entire place and find the secret doorways and all that stuff, as if we don't know those don't exist. Of course, it's not going to be a sign that says, find kids this way in the back of the room, kids downstairs, Satanic pedophile ring this way. I mean, that's not going to be inside the place. Obviously, there's going to be hidden doors and all this stuff. But the media continues to mock all of us. We're trying to just raise awareness about this. At the very least, raise awareness so people can see the evil in this world. They can pray for these children, because that's what matters most. Praying for these kids. These are innocent souls. Praying for them as much as we possibly can. And I feel it's important to continue to bring light to it, because not only that, we have the lost souls out there, these atheists, these people who don't have a clue, who have been tricked into believing in this matrix, who still can find Jesus Christ, who can still be saved. And by seeing the evil in the world, sometimes it brings people to find God. And I've gotten tons of messages of people who have been led to finding God, who have been led by God to pick up their Bible through seeing the evil in the world that I've uncovered and others uncover. It's important to talk about this stuff. It truly is. Because this is what they're doing and they're getting away with in plain sight. And people need to realize this is spiritual warfare. And these people are sick and demonic. They're demonically possessed. They're occult Satanists. They're literally performing these rituals on kids. They're literally performing, the rituals that I've talked about, where we talked about, the man who says, I am Legion, cutting themselves with rocks and the cave, all of this stuff to become demonically possessed. And that's what they're doing. So this is Cassandra Lee Hamilton, her connection with the pizza and the Baphomet, carved into the pizza, connected to the band The Sex Stains, who just played recently at Comet Ping Pong, I believe right before all these allegations broke out, who have the pedophilia symbols to go along with the other occult symbols, but specifically that symbol on the block, which we see on the FBI's list of symbols for pedophiles. It's all right in front of our face. It's all obvious. I wanted to point it out because I wanted this documented for anyone that comes across this channel and wants to continue looking at stuff on Pizzagate. Because the connections just run deep and deep and deep. It doesn't even just go to politicians. It goes to Hollywood. This traces back to Sex Stains, even though they're a minor band. But it goes out to LA, right? It goes out there too. And it goes out to the music industry and how these people come in and these bands come in and you think, oh, they don't know any better. They're all connected. This is bigger than you think. It's not just a few people that are involved in this, a few politicians. There's tons. Like I've said many times, they make, this is a number I guarantee isn't even accurate. They make over $42 billion annually. And I think that number's changed now to, someone told me it was over 70 billion, but I couldn't find the statistics somewhere. But regardless, they make more, buying and selling kids than they do buying and selling drugs. But all we hear about on TV is about drug trade, or, illegal immigrants crossing the border. These are the things they talk about at the elections. Why do you think they don't talk about this stuff? Because they're all involved in it, and it's bigger than anyone could ever imagine. If they're making more money doing this with kids, and you know how many people out there are drug addicts and do heroin and all this disgusting, awful stuff to themselves? Imagine how many people are involved in this. It's unbelievable how deep the rabbit hole goes. But I've been talking about this since before Pizzagate came out. The worship of Crowley, his teachings, this goes back to ancient Babylon. This is the mystery religions. But it's all about pedophilia. It's about these kids. They take these kids. It goes back to the Old Testament. And these sacrifices are made to Baal. So it's all right there. And I want to point this out so it was at least documented in my video library for those of you who weren't on the live show and didn't hear this. Okay, again, I'll leave New World Agenda's channel linked up below. He uncovered some of this stuff, especially with Cassandra Lee Hamilton, which is just, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's all right there. And these people are revealing themselves on the internet. That's how stupid they think all of us are. And they're right to feel that way, because if we look at the masses out there and how dumbed down they are, through the media and all this stuff, they would never pick up on it. And we see how many people come over and troll these Pizzagate videos, not just on my channel, all these channels, and call us lunatics. We need to be locked up. We're what's wrong with society. Nobody cares about the kids. It's just, oh, you need to be locked up for making up crazy things. These poor people, their business, oh, it's suffering. Instead of just going, all right, there's some evidence here. Maybe we should investigate it and do due diligence, because there's children involved and it's kind of frightening and there's a lot of creepy photos, and nope, nothing happens. We're all just lunatics, and that's why you keep seeing the spin that they're trying to put out on this in the media. But the fact of the matter is there's so many connections that just keep popping up, and it's endless, and I'm sure it's going to continue to go on and on now that people are learning of these symbols, learning of these talks. And of course, remember, they can always change their symbols. It even says that on the FBI page, that their symbols can change or subject to change. I'm sure they've changed a few now. It's different food. You know what I mean? Obviously, they've caught on, because they really, whether they wanted this story out or not, it's caused a huge problem for them. Whether they thought they'd reveal themselves and get away with it, and said, oh, nobody out there would be able to figure out. Nobody cares. Let's just rub it in their faces. Now they have to do massive spin control, which probably could lead to them changing their symbols. But again, this is Pizzagate. It's still out there. I know it feels like it's, a lot of information isn't coming out as much as it was because Reddit closed down, and there's other sites now people are trying to get information out. But a lot of these players involved have blocked off the majority of their accounts, whether their Instagram and all this stuff, where they openly had a lot of stuff on there. It's really sad to see even people connected, the owner of Reddit, the CEO of Reddit, to being involved in this, who came out and said this whole thing's a joke. There's actually even pictures of him talking about cannibalism and all this frightening stuff. So it's all out there right in front of our faces. It has been the entire time. But it's good to see people waking up little by little, seeing what's really going on here. And I hope that when people wake up and see that these people are monsters, they're pedophiles, they understand that this is spiritual warfare. This isn't just a few guys who are pedophiles, a few women who are pedophiles, a few men who are pedophiles. This is about Satanism. Okay? This is spiritual warfare. This is about Jesus Christ and finding Jesus Christ and realizing that all of this time you've been duped if you haven't found him and you haven't been born again. So find him, pick up your Bible, turn only to him, trust only in Jesus Christ, not in any man. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.